Hi, everyone. It is Carol C.C. Miller, your positivity trainer, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you today with This is Life, Beautiful and Messy. And we're always here to discuss options on how we can heighten our celebrations and lessen our sorrows through a positive focus. And today, my guest is one of my favorite people in the world, which makes perfect sense because we're going to be talking about traveling the world and how travel can add magic to our lives. So Loretta is joining us today. I met her on a cruise actually in 2009 with Mike Dooley and gang, which is TUT.com is their information. And Loretta, welcome.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
I'm good. And I forgot to say, Loretta is also one of the global huggers who has been joining me ever since I met her in 2009. And I always love her picture. She's currently living in Key West. But Loretta, let's talk about the importance of travel, from local travel to even being in our own communities to seeing the world.
Okay, well, Carol, it's no secret to anybody who knows me, or really, even if you just meet me, within the first 5 minutes, you'll know that I love traveling. And one of the things I love the most about it is the connections that you can make with people. That's what traveling is all about for me. And I love we just did global hugs, free hugs. We were a week late this year, but one of my southernmost huggers team was out of town, and she's one of the core people in my group. So we decided to wait a week, and believe me, the people didn't know. And the hugs weren't any different because we were a week late, but we had a blast hugging down there at the southernmost point. We hugged people as usual for an hour or two from at least 25 different countries. We hugged people from Kuwait wearing hijabs. We hugged people from every single country in Europe, Germany, Italy, France, Spain, all over the place, Scandinavia, South America. Really, a lot of places that you live, like Key West, I don't even have to leave my backyard to travel because the world comes to me. So traveling, I have been traveling the world with my company, Clean Getaway Travel, now for the past 8 years. It's 8 years this month, actually.
Wow.
I know.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. It's amazing. And we started out humbly with trips of 3 people, and now we have grown, and we are able to bring the joys of travel to so many more people. And one of the things that Carol and I were talking about just before we went live is how enriching travel is, and how I find so much clarity in traveling. When I get out into the world and I get away from my everyday pressures or whatever responsibilities. I mean, I've crafted a wonderful reality for myself that doesn't need escaping from.
Yeah.
When I have new challenges coming up, as we do when you're making new creations or trying to figure out where you're going in the future, when I can get out somewhere and clear my head and look at a beautiful seascape or a mountain range, meet some new people, eat some new food, and practice living in the moment and really enjoying myself, that's when the cobwebs just kind of sort of blast out and my path becomes clear. Traveling for me just brings so much clarity and joy that I always come back from any trip feeling like I've been enriched and like with a renewed sense of purpose. So
I agree. And first of all, regarding your global hugs, I always love hearing from you because you pretty much do hug the globe just in your location in Key West. Where I hug in Chicago, I was not in Chicago this year, I was in Santa Fe. But where I hug it in Chicago is a very touristy area. So we get a lot of that too. But I never think to ask everybody. Sometimes people will tell me where they're from, but I don't ask. So I'm going to have to start doing that to find out if we're hugging the globe too. But you always have people from different areas. And I agree as far as traveling goes. I know that sometimes it can seem like, when we're in our own community, everything's the exact same and people think like us and act like us. But when you get out there and meet all these different people, they do think like us as far as the vast majority of people, want security, love, and, safety and all that kind of thing. But you get to just meet the way they go about life, and it adds a new dimension that you just don't get from watching travel shows on TV or whatever, which I enjoy doing as well.
Me too. Here's a quick little story that relates to both hugging and travel. Is I guess it was 2 years ago, Global Free Hugs, I met a gal down at the southernmost point, and she was living in France, but she was from Morocco originally, and full hijab, full, total dress covered from head to toe, with a burqa and not the eye slits, but a whole hijab. And she was just adorable. And she could not stop hugging me. And she was so cute. Her name was Mina. And she took my phone and she put her number in my phone. And now there was no speaking. My French is very limited. And she didn't hardly speak any English. But somehow we communicated. And last year when I was in Paris, I met up with her and her son, and it was Ramadan, so we actually had to go out to dinner at 10 o'clock. We all met, and we had the absolute best time ever. And it all started in Global Free Hugs. And this year, actually, her son came to visit me in Key West with his girlfriend. And I took them out on the town. And just that one simple act of embracing another person can really just open up so many possibilities.
I love that example because, like, you and I met on a Mike Dooley cruise, and who knows if our paths would have crossed had we not gone on that cruise. But I had some of my favorite people I met because of travel, and they're really good friends now. So
absolutely.
And I'm one of those people who travel, and I like touristy places, and I also like getting into the communities. So what is your favorite, or do you like doing it both as far as getting out there and getting away from the touristy areas and into more meeting the locals, or are you into the touristy area?
Well, I love it all, Carol. I mean, I'm not going to overlook going to the Eiffel Tower because it's popular with tourists. I find that most things that are popular for a reason because they're awesome. But yeah. Of course, after you do the initial tourist things, I love to get out and meet people. I love to meet people. And the more intimate a setting, the better. If I can go to dinner in someone's house, of course, not everybody's as outgoing as me and say, hey, do you have a grandmother who will because it's like my dream come true. If I can find somebody's family member, preferably an older one, to make me dinner, then I'm in. I love it all. I really just love meeting people and making those connections. And to me, that's what it's all about. And I love it. I love it all, even in your own communities. Sometimes if for whatever reason you can't get out, like we were talking about earlier, if you can't get out and experience, an around the world voyage, you can find different ways. The library or on the internet, you can become a host. You can sign up to actually become a city host, where you can show people around your town, like people that come to town. I can't remember the site right now, but I'll let you know so you can post it for your people, Carol. But you can actually sign up, and then when somebody comes to town, you can say if you're available to have a cup of coffee or to take them around. So you don't have to have a big travel budget. If you can't travel right now outside of your city for whatever reason, well, try being a host to the world in the town that you live in. It can be done.
I love that example, or even just getting into a different area of your own community. Now, if you're in a really small community that you do know everybody, go to the town next to you or 2 towns away from you and have dinner at a diner that you've never gone to, and, say hi to the people at the next table. It'll spark some really interesting conversations. And like, I'm in Chicago, but I still tend to, when I'm in Chicago, stay in my neighborhood or go to the places. So it's something that I do more so in the summer than I do in the winter, but I try to go to a different community that I've not been in and check out a new neighborhood and see what that vibe's all about. So it really is possible we're both people persons. What are we?
We're people.
That's what we are. And although I'd have to say, I always think I'm very much an extrovert until I hang out with Loretta. And then I feel like I'm a very shy person around her because she is larger than life.
Well, I really like people, Carol, and I don't know, some people might, I'm not sure if everybody gets it, but I just enjoy the company of people, and I want them to feel that I'm sincere about wanting to get to know them. And actually, I want to talk a little bit about my new thing that I'm doing because I'm going to have to run here in about 10 minutes. And
Okay.
I am practicing bringing the world to me yet again. After 26 years in Key West, I'm moving to New Orleans to follow a new dream, which is opening a bed and breakfast that I'm calling a bark and breakfast because I'm going to have rescued dogs living there. So the idea is you come and stay and you enjoy New Orleans. And if you fall in love, you can leave with a new best friend. And that's the plan. And I'm really excited about it because I've been working on it for 3 years now, and it's coming to fruition next week. So
I love it. And you're gonna open your doors in October for that, right?
yeah, it may even be sooner. I've had a couple of new developments where I might be able to open in June, but we'll see. We're looking at a grand opening date in October and a soft opening through the summer if you just have to come right away.
I love it. And I mean, knowing you, it will happen sooner because you're following your passion. And that's the next thing that I wanted to talk about is when you just mentioned that you're following a dream. One of my dreams in Loretta's when we started, especially when she joined me for the hugs, is I wanted to go around the world and do free hugs, or wherever I'm at in the world, I should say, do free hugs. So she and I have started a business together that yearly we're going to be taking a trip to a different location in the world and offering free hugs along the way. And our guests can join us for free hugs or they don't have to, but it's all going to be about hanging out with people who are loving life and looking for the good in life and looking for the good wherever we're at. Eventually, I would like to open it up to doing a service project in the community that we go to, whether, we volunteer at some, food kitchen for 4 hours along our trip or something like that, but to actually immerse ourselves within that community. I mean, that takes a lot of work to figure out how we're going to do that. But this trip, we're definitely doing free hugs. And I've not been to Croatia yet, but from my understanding, I'm not going to want to come home. And we're doing it September 6th through the 16th. Loretta has been before. She was the planner of the itinerary that looks phenomenal. So Loretta, tell us about the trip.
Well, Carol, you know how much I love Croatia. I actually took a group there last year, and everybody that was on the trip, all 16 of them, said it was the best vacation that they ever had. And yes, mad props to me. It was a compelling itinerary, but I can assure you that Croatia did all the heavy lifting. Croatia made me look good. And it's just such a beautiful destination. I could go on and on about it, but I believe we do have videos that you can share with the people about the trip in detail. Basically, it's 10 days, 3 days land, 7 days on a small wooden boat that just goes island hopping down the Croatian coastline. For those of you who don't know where Croatia is, it's right across from Italy, right above Greece, and it is a beautiful Mediterranean country that has just about everything you could possibly want on a vacation or as a place to eventually move to, but great weather, beautiful food, amazing historical things have happened there. The birthplace of Marco Polo. It's just a wonderful place. Maybe you're a Game of Thrones fan, then you'd be familiar with the Dubrovnik walled city that you see in that. It's just an amazing destination, and I can't wait to share it with another group of travelers. I haven't repeated a destination in my travels yet because it's a big world, and I want to see a lot of it. But Croatia was just so captivating that I really feel like I have to go back. And I'm excited to be sharing it with Carol and her people. We've already got quite a few people joining us, but we still have some on-deck cabins available. And believe me, this is a trip that you don't want to miss.
It's so funny because when we were first talking about it, I was excited just because talked about it being a Mediterranean destination and everything. I don't know how many times I looked at the itinerary before I noticed that it was a cruise too. And I love being on the water. I remember texting you like, oh my God, we're also on a cruise for a week. And she's like, yeah, Carol, that's been there the entire time. But I totally overlooked that for a good, probably 2 or 3 days. I didn't even notice that, which just made me love the trip even more, knowing that I'm going to be on a boat. So,
well, let me just describe a typical day, because I'm going to have to sign off here. The clock is ticking. I would pan the camera around so you can see the multitude of boxes that are piled up in my room right now. But a typical day on the boat is you wake up in the morning at your leisure and they feed you breakfast. Then you motor off to some beautiful turquoise swimming hole and you go swimming. Then you get back on board and they feed you lunch. And then you motor off into a historic port for the night where you would have a city walking tour or perhaps some kind of adrenaline activity like maybe sea kayaking or zip lining. But every night we have a tour of the port that we're in, and then we just are there to explore it. And it's just so relaxing and such a mesmerizing way to spend 10 days, getting to know people, getting to know one another, playing cards on the boat, reading a book, having a gelato before and after dinner.
Yeah, I heard that there's no calories in Croatia. Is that true?
That's true. I've heard that the gelato is completely calorie free and it's very reasonably priced. One of the things that makes this trip such a great thing too about Croatia as a vacation destination is your dollar goes a long way over there. In our trip, everything is included, right down to the tips. I mean, we've left you on your own for some dinners, but basically breakfast and lunch is included, and all the tips, all the taxes, all the tours, all the tips to the drivers, all your transportation, all you have to do is show up. And gelato is $1.50. Yeah, that's right. I'm not making it up.
Maybe I'll throw that in for everybody myself.
Well, I've been known to buy several rounds of gelatos. So, Carol, it's always a pleasure when I get to share time with you and be in your energy. I'm so looking forward to our trip this year. And I hate that I'm going to have to leave you right now, but I am moving in a week after 26 years, and I have to go get ready. So I love you.
I'm glad that I got to get down to Key West a couple of times, and I look forward to seeing your new place in New Orleans. So
I can't wait to host you, and it won't just be me welcoming you. You'll have some four-legged friends to welcome you as well.
Yay!
All right.
Can you get some puppies in there too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Puppies.
Puppies. Okay. You have safe travels to your new destination, and we will talk soon. And I look forward to an in-person hug soon.
All right, darling. I love you. Mwah.
I love you too.
Thanks, everybody. Keep traveling.
Yes. So, as you got to meet Loretta, I met her again in 2009, and she is a Spitfire travel agent. She does tours for other people too, not just her own tours. She plans vacations for people. But I would love for you to consider traveling in your own communities and really getting out there and meeting new people and meeting people who are even different than you. Like, go to somebody else's church next Sunday instead of the one that you usually go to. Go to a different religion and learn about different people, because I really do believe, the vast majority of us are all doing our best to live a good, healthy, happy life. And the more that we learn about different people and learn different cultures and learn about, different ways of life, it's, be an observer rather than a judger and see if it's for you. And maybe you're going to go to a new church and realize this isn't an experience you want to repeat. But I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone of your house and your neighborhood and learn about the people across the street. I know in Chicago, a lot of times people say you don't know the people in your own building. And I have a rooftop shared area, so I get to meet people more there than I ever do in the hallways. but it's still, say hi, smile, share a kind word, be that person that you want to see others be in the world, and know that often what we hear about other locations, yes, I'm sure there's validity there. A lot of people are saying how dangerous Chicago is right now. And we certainly have some violent areas that need attention, and we need to love it up and bring some peace into those communities. But Chicago as a whole, the entire area is not that. And I certainly feel safe living here. So I know just from my own experience of what I hear about Chicago, I'm sure other communities in the country and in the other parts of the world are very similar. Yes, there's areas of strife and conflict, but that does not mean the entire area is that way, nor does it mean that people in those areas of strife and conflict are not kind and loving people. We all face different situations in life, so go about it, being kind and being gentle and doing what you can. And I forgot to say at the beginning of the broadcast, I'm a hugger. So if you're in need of a virtual hug, put your area that you're in right now, and I will stop in and give you a virtual hug. I would also love to hear, where is it that you'd want to travel to? My next known trip is Croatia this fall. I will probably go someplace between now and then for work. Right now I don't have anything scheduled, but if time and money was not of an essence to you, I'd love to know where you would be if tomorrow you're getting on a plane, you don't have to worry about money and you don't have to worry about time off of work. Where would you go? Probably for me, it would be Australia, because it's really far away and I know that you need to take several weeks to really appreciate it. But that's a place that I definitely want to go to. Hi, Ellen, giving you a hug. In Louisville, Kentucky. So Ellen, where would you go if you were getting on a plane today? Time and money was not an issue and you just got to choose where the Maldives. Okay, let's go there. And then can we go to Australia after that? So again, you can travel the world, and you can travel the world within your own community and meet new people who are right there with you. I would certainly love for you to travel to Croatia with Loretta and I this September. But start today by meeting somebody new. And that meeting could even just be a simple hello. It could be sharing your smile. You don't have to get into a deep conversation with them, but just have some eye contact with another person that you do not know and let them know that they matter in this world, that they matter to you. We're all in this together. We're all sharing this beautiful planet together, the beautiful parts of the planet and the messy parts of the planet, So the more that we can add some love, kindness, and compassion, the more love, kindness, and compassion is going to show up. So that was the main reason to talk about travel today, is to let travel be the spur to heighten your celebrations and lessen your sorrows. And one way is to know that through travel and through knowing other people around the world is, nothing that you go through in life, whether it's a celebration or whether it's a sorrow, are you doing it alone. In this exact moment, somebody is taking their first breath. In this exact moment, somebody's taking their last breath. In this moment, somebody's getting married and somebody's getting divorced. Somebody's starting a new job and somebody's losing their job. So whatever you're experiencing right now, know that there are people out there experiencing it with you. You're not alone in this world unless you want to be alone in this world. So just keep that in mind. Get out there and share you with a smile, with a kind word, with a hug. I'm a hugger. And let people know that they matter, because you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And most importantly, you matter to you. So we'll talk again soon. Next week, we have on a couple of different speakers joining me that are going to be focusing more on children. One is Laura Duxta, and she is the author of a couple of children's books. One's called I Love You More, and I cannot believe I don't remember the exact title of her second one, because it's all about hugs. And we're going to talk about her journey on how she's come to do what she's doing in life. And then the next day, it is a friend of mine as well, Rebecca, who I know through the Mike Dooley's Infinite Possibilities. And she's taken the Infinite Possibilities coursework and brought it into teaching it to children at risk. And I love one of the things that she said when she first started, like she still continues to work in a homeless shelter in Ohio, but she realized any child is at risk that doesn't know their own power, whether they're living in an at-risk environment or whether they're not. If they don't know that they're a powerful person, they're at risk. So join me next week for those, and I'll probably pop in again on just other topics along the way. Of course, if you have something that you would like me to talk about that will help heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows, I am happy to consider that as well. So until then, have a great day, smile, be kind, and know that you matter. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.